I'm back home. Going back down to the beach for my first time. I didn't. Oh, goodness. And I didn't bring my guitar. Well, it's in the car, so I can use it. But right now I'm going to go on a walk, I think. Maybe teach later. I have something that came last night, but I'm waiting. Hi. Sunset here. Let's see. Sunset. I'm back home, California. Look at the waves for a second. We'll do that. All right, so I'll use my knee again or something. So much prettier at the ocean. Like, I love the ocean. The rocks are pretty cool too back there. I learned a lot of stuff this morning, but then I'm just like in a place where I don't know if it'll all come back right now, you know? I just trust that it will, or what needs to be said will be said. Because when you go to sleep at night and when you wake up at morning, your subconscious is more porous, open, you know? And so you're kind of between worlds. And I just walked for a little bit, so I don't know if I'm between worlds enough. I was trying to let go of my thoughts, you know? And just be in my being self. You can look at the sun again. That never shone. Mm-hmm. Ah, look, the sun's shining on the water again. Just a little bit, it's coming out. All right, so I was meditating on this passage again, and it's in the book of John, but it was, but just ignore the religious part. If you're not religious or whatever, you don't have to be. Just listen with your deeper self. It said that Christ was the light that shone in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not. And it's so weird because it's like, oh, hold on, let me get this ant off. In the Narnia books, Susan says to the professor, but if things are real, then they're real all the time, aren't they? And the professor says, are they? So here's the sun again. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can't zoom in on this. I have kids, and one of my kids the other day was saying, Mommy, why don't you just prove to me that God exists or whatever, They're going into this phase where it's just like, and I was trying to say, I learned, it's so pretty again, look. The sun's coming out a little bit from the clouds. That the word to define means of the finite. Define, and it's day is like of the finite. And so it's like, if how can you define an infinite thing with a finite definition, with a, because I was contemplating, this is what I was contemplating on, is contemplating how Christ can come and be the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. How could we not comprehend? If he's the God-man, if he's the most loving being that came here, how could we miss that, And when I sat with that, what came into my understanding was that you only see things relative to your own consciousness. So, like the phrase that I got before from someone was, a pickpocket only sees pockets, Or I got the image of a guy. If a guy only has one thing on his mind, then it's kind of like he sees women in that way. Or if a woman only has like, I wonder if this guy has a Porsche. He's a good Porsche giver. That's just what came to my mind. I was like, because I think I heard someone that I know is going to buy a Porsche. And I was like, oh gosh, whatever. But it's like if your ego wants to attach to things, hold on, the sun's shining again. Let me see if I can. Your ego wants to attach to things. And so if you're in your ego mind, you see things from your ego perspective. And that's like your mind, body, your physical, your emotions and your physical mind and body, not from your soul, this deeper soul, I am self. If you live in your soul, then you're going to understand someone else living from their soul. I know what I was thinking. One thing I was thinking is there was this man, flight attendant, on my long trip from Munich to here. And he was talking to me about how he gets to stay here for like 4 days or whatever. And so I was like telling him all the good beaches, like this one. Look at that. Do you doubt me? Because they were staying down here near my house, and where the hiking trails were, and I just wrote all this stuff down because I want them to be able to go to the best places. They only have 4 days here. Then they're going back to a very cold Germany. And he came over and talked to me later, was saying something like, it's very nice of you to do that. And I'm just like, why wouldn't I, you know? And he understood it because you could just feel that he was, oh, look at the sun shining now, that he was like a genuine person as well. But I spoke to this shop owner woman, oh, look at that, in Greece. And she was like, I've owned this shop since 1978 and I've met thousands of people and you're one of a kind. She was saying that to me and it was so sweet, you know? But it's like, look at this sun. Oh, I need to turn this around. Here, I'll do it. I'll do it. I wanted to turn it around so we got the sun. All right, I just turned it around so we got the sun while it was out. So, she was saying that about me, but there's something in her that could recognize that in me. But regardless, it's like, I know I've been working really hard at just letting go of lots and being present and being deep in my soul self and deep in presence. And I feel like the guy on the flight was picking it up too. I mean, I've had a lot of weird experiences lately. So it's not just them. But some things I just can't say on a public YouTube video. But I feel like change is happening and it's so great because it feels so much more like freedom inside. I'm not tortured in my brain as I was before. I didn't even realize how much I was before. But Eckhart Tolle says it like, it's like when you can, whoops. I might cut that part out, but Eckhart Tolle says it's like when you can go around and you don't have the background compulsive mind chatter that has to be spoken, you know? I noticed even when I was making my video, when I was going around Athens and Patmos, I talked a lot, but I didn't feel like I had to talk as much as I used to. Let's see if we can get that again. Well, if we get me, then we don't get the sunset. It never shone on me. Thank God you don't know what it's like. You don't know. I just heard that song. It came on my shuffle. It calmed me down. It got me back in the present. Where I was trying to before and it wasn't working. And then I just was like, forget it. I let go. And then I looked. My intuition told me to come back this way. So what happened was I walked all the way down the beach that way, back by the that one place that I did a couple of my videos for Maurice Nicole, with the sun setting, and it was just so gorgeous. And it was so funny because it reminded me of what I was writing down in my journal this morning, is that, sometimes, there's like a time for everything. And if I keep, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's my favorite German word, but I forgot to look up how to pronounce it. S-E-N, I don't know how do you spell it even. Oh, I could look it up, but then I'd have to stop the video again. But it means longing. It's like this nostalgic longing. And C.S. Lewis talks about it a lot. And it's like, in Portuguese, it's the word saudade. And it's like, when you go back to the thing that you thought you were longing for, you find that it's not there. It's just, you had an experience. And the way C.S. Lewis describes it is you had an experience of like the essence of something beyond, something heavenly, something deep and real and magical. And, you had it in that one place. And so it's like it's so funny that I did go back. So maybe I was meant to. Oh, and there's a white feather right here. That I did go back because maybe I was meant to go back so that I could say it in the video. Like what just happened is I thought, oh, maybe we'll capture the magic again on this video if I go back to that spot. But the magic wasn't, you can't find it on the rocks in that spot. And so this spot came to my mind. I haven't been here before. I mean, not to this spot particularly for a video, but it's just like yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday, and I woke up and I don't remember if I did my meditation or not, but I got the picture of this book in my mind. And it was this book that I happened to see because my chair was in a weird place. And I bent down to move my chair the day before, and I saw this book on the bottom shelf of this little bookshelf I have in my room. And so that's the book that came to mind. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm meant to read that. And I'm usually not like that, but I was listening and I got it. And it was a book by a mystic woman that's here now, Her name is Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S-S, and it's called Entering the Castle. And it's about entering the depths of your soul. And it was like a map. It was like a map laid out, a soul map that Teresa of Avila wrote when she was in the 1500s. I love her, and so I found quotes that I had put on Twitter like 5 years ago because I was back on this path 5 years ago, and then I don't know what happened. I wasn't ready, or I sabotaged it, or I don't know if we have parallel universes and I got on the wrong timeline or the right timeline, or who knows how all this stuff works. I'm not going to define it all now, but that's what I was reading back then. And I think I read this whole book because a lot of parts were underlines. I'm like, those are good parts. But this book was like a map of what's going on now. So maybe I'm entering in this place in a deeper level now, or I learned my lessons about how futile it is to hold on to my egotism because, oh, look at the sun now. Because it doesn't work. It leaves me miserable. It leaves me dependent on other people and other things. The sun is so gorgeous right now. My camera's not getting it, but it's okay. And so I'll tie this together, I think, is she was describing this soul's journey into deep presence and the different... Teresa of Avila saw our soul like a many-sided diamond, and there's many different rooms, and it's entering deeper and deeper into that place. But if Christ is the light that shined in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not, it's like we didn't comprehend the light that he came to show us. because we saw it. Here, hold on, I'm trying to not get people. We saw it like I was saying, a pickpocket will only see pockets. Um, if I'm only looking for men that have Porsches, then like I'm objectifying the men that I'm around. Like my one friend, like I love him so much, and he knows it. Who was just teaching me about how if he objectified women, then he would never have a conversation again with a woman because he he wouldn't be able to just look them in the eye and see them as something more than, you know, something he objectified, and that's not fun for him. So he had to teach himself how to not do that. And I keep running into Russell Brand and his videos on YouTube. They keep showing up before I subscribe to him or anything, and he's talking about how he used to objectify women, and instead of having a spiritual practice, he was depending on the people he was dating to like lift up his ego and make him feel better about himself, and blaming all his lack of self-worth or whatever on them, and you know, kept getting mad at them for not propping him up in the right way, and you know, jumping into one relationship after another. And I don't know, you can listen to his stuff if you want to. I'm not here to talk about him, but I've appreciated a lot of what he's been saying about taking responsibility to develop a spiritual practice. And he was talking about two people walking alongside each other, you know, and having a vision. You each have your vision, and you encourage each other on that vision. If you do get in a relationship. But the light coming and us comprehending it not. It's like if we are these deeper soul selves, and 95% of people keep living just in their egotism, then what Maurice Nicole and Gurdjieff and them, the fourth way people say, is that it's like we're acorn seeds and we never plant it in the ground. If it's like Jesus said, if the seed doesn't die, if it doesn't go in the ground, then it's like the tree doesn't grow. So we keep mistaking ourselves to be this acorn and like just this hard shell of a seed. And we're really meant to be this glorious giant acorn tree, but we're missing it. We're not getting it. Let's see if you can see the sun. It's just red, like I don't know. Do we have to get it? We don't. We don't have to get it. If we have more than one lifetime, which I don't know. Oh, look at the sun now. Oh, you can't see it in this. I'm going to flip it again. Hold on. I flipped it again so you can see the red maybe. All right, hopefully I can splice all these together. But if we have more than one life, then it's like maybe we missed it so much in this life. The light, the presence, the depth of meaning of who we are, that we'll really have a deeper craving for it next time. Or, I mean, I don't want to perpetuate any kind of false belief. So do your own research on all this, but I don't want to miss the reason that I'm here. Or what I'm meant to do and become or be, or just allow myself that I already am. If I already am this, then let go of the layers that are keeping me from being my authentic self. I just see these little kids, they're just twirling. They're twirling around, and now they're skipping. I don't want to put kids on, but they're just, now they're just jumping over the waves. So, as I learn how to be in presence and be okay with whoever's going to show up in myself and love her, it's not even trying to love her, it's just being. Look at that wave. Whoa. So amazing that we're here. Not just here at this beach, just here. Here, you are here. So, one of the things I was getting, I don't know how important it is to include it, but I'll include it because it's coming to my mind. I talked about this in one video here. There's a one version of the I got this after that video of Greece, just getting in the very center of your soul being. It's like Christ lived again from that stillness, from that higher place, that deep place, and you could just feel how present Mary was and how present Christ was with people when you watch how he interacted with people. But the thing is, again, so you're only going to see and comprehend. Hold on, ants. Oh, good, it's still alive. From the level of consciousness that you're at. Like, if you don't understand how he can walk on water, and you just try to explain it with your brain. What do they say? Our brain is like 2% of our thought. I don't know. It's like of what we can comprehend when you go into your noetic self or your deeper, your heart's brain or your soul's understanding. When you let go. I'm drawing a blank. I can't explain it right now, how I've seen it before. I've seen things in visions where it just makes sense. Lots of things make sense that Christ did because I was in a different state of consciousness, so I could understand them. But, so what I was thinking, it's like, if I'm a kid and I'm sick and my parents gave me this liquid Tylenol, this cherry Tylenol, and I liked the taste and I like how it made me not sick anymore, and I felt like high from the Tylenol or something. If I went back another time to try to chase that high and get that same feeling of feeling well and feeling like my sickness is gone and feeling like I don't have to, I don't feel the pain anymore of whatever symptoms I was having, then it's like using that in the wrong way. It's the same with people or with places or with anything that my egotism tries to use in the wrong context. Like if I go to a book that made me feel better one time and I keep trying to go back to that book or that song and make me feel better, then it's like I'm not going to find it necessarily in that song again. I might get something, but it's like it's like just I guess what I'm talking about some is learning how to recognize when your ego is running the show again. And one of the things about egotism is like it's incessantly hungry and it wants more stimulus and it wants to be fed and it wants to be fed with drama or pain or whatever it's used to feed it, whatever it's used to as food to keep it alive. But when you're in your deeper being self, that you don't need anything, not anything or anyone, nothing. Like, so Christ is the light that shined in the darkness, but the darkness comprehended it not. If there's a light in your soul and we stay in darkness, we stay in our egotism, and we don't seek first the kingdom of God, then it's like this light comes in, but it, we don't see it. This light could like heal everything, wake us up, show us everything that's blocking us from love, warm us with its radiance, light the way, shine through us to love all the people that we've not been loving well. If we just lean into the light or see it or recognize it or know that we are it. Someone asked Teresa of Avila, or she got this vision. They said, like, who are you? And she said, I am Teresa of Jesus. And then she answered, I am Jesus of Teresa. When we go into our soul self, we become like Jesus of Teresa. Jesus is shining. The Christ light is shining in us. Instead of I am Cheryl of Jesus, I am Jesus of Cheryl. I invite you to invite more stillness in your life. That's all. Much love. Okay, I thought of a song that they taught me at camp when I was little. Okay, when I was like 8. Here's the sun. The sunset. Okay, so, okay, I don't think there's anyone by me. I can sing it. It goes, love him in the morning when you see the sun arising. Love him in the evening 'cause he took you through the day. In the in-between time when you feel the pressure rising, remember that he loves you and he promises to stay. When you think you've got to worry, look at the red, 'cause it seems the thing to do. Remember he ain't in a hurry, he's always got time for you. So, love him in the morning when you see the sun arising. What's that? Love him in the evening 'cause he took you through the day. And in the in-between time when you feel the pressure rising, remember that he loves you and he promises to stay. Remember that he loves you and he promises to stay. Oh my gosh, I gotta turn this around. It's amazing, the sun. Much love, you guys. I wish I could describe it as she promises or he, she. God is so much bigger than he or she. Oh, I gotta turn this around. See, look at the sky when I have it turned around with my 3 lenses. It's so much better. Look at this. I just finished singing that song. All right, much love. I don't know how this is showing up, but look at the red sky. It looks better with this camera, so I can't see what I'm filming. It's red sun. There's like a red sunset behind me. So rad. So cool. All right, much love.